this video we're going to be taking a look at how to play the Rolling Stones song Angie. Had a few requests for this one. Somebody commented on a video the other day asking for Angie. Paul in the US requested this one a while ago. It seems funny I've ended up with more guitar lessons to do in the States than I actually have here in the UK since lockdown. It's been a strange time, but this one has been one of those I've meant to get around to doing it for years. One of the very first Guitar Techniques magazines back in the 90s had this one tabbed out, I remember, and it made it look more complicated than it really is because of the picking in it, and because the picking changes throughout and it isn't necessarily consistent. You end up with about 6 pages of guitar tab, which kind of make the song look a lot more difficult than it actually is. So hopefully this video simplifies it right down into something manageable. Done the cheat sheet, it's 2 sheets, and hopefully following that along will get you to be able to play it along with the record. So the introduction is the same chord progression as the verses with a little bit of alteration there. And what we're starting off with is a harmonic on the 12th fret of the A string, like that. Hopefully you know how to do harmonics. In A minor, 3rd fret of high E, and you can see the picking pattern on the screen in the guitar tab. You don't necessarily have to obey it totally, you get a feel for it. Like that. E7, now we're going to do that like that. 3rd fret of B, 4th fret of G, leave the high E open, 4th fret of bottom E, which is a nice touch. I like the sound of that. G suspended 4, which is like that. 3rd frets of high E, B, 5th frets of the G and the D, and we're going to go like that. Now when F suspended 4 to F seems complicated. You do the F like that, put your little finger on 5th fret of G to the F, then pick through F, leaving our first finger on the B, 3rd frets of A and D for a C suspended 4. Take our little finger off, put our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D, holding the C chord down now, and we're going to go like that, and then switch over to the 2nd fret of the A, and we're doing a G suspended 4/B, I believe. Like that. So that's not as complicated as it may first appear. So what we have is, play through slowly. Then our song starts. Angie, Angie, when will those clouds all disappear? Now the picking pattern I put on the screen, now this alternates throughout the song, creating the illusion of it almost being improvised, if that makes sense. So starting off with the A minor, Angie, and then you have this little 5th frets of the B and the high E, 3rd fret, double stop, to the 5th frets of the G and B. You'll keep hearing that in the background. There's 2 guitars playing, and that's one of the guitars coming through. You could, instead of doing that, go like that with the G on the 3rd fret of high E. So you could play the chord and add that a little bit if you so wanted. Sometimes people get bogged down with trying to replicate the record so it's identical and psychoanalyze it to death, but you could just do that if you wanted. The E7. Doing that same kind of E7 again, like that. Your G suspended 4, which we looked at before. When will those clouds all dis? And you could go. That would be a simpler way of doing it. Instead of the 5th there, you go open G, F suspended 4, and you could do an open G on its own, or you could add and do the C added 4 like that to C. So you could go, or the C added 4 sounds fuller, but it's that quick. You could, if you were struggling with that, do that. So I'm going to play the first verse through because that chord progression repeats twice. There at the end, but you know what you get, you see where I'm coming from. Chorus. With no loving in our souls and no money in our coats, you can say we're satisfied, but Angie, you can say we never. So that's the chorus. G, with no loving in our souls and no D minor, money in our A minor chords. C, you can't F, C, we're satisfied. It's fairly straightforward, but Angie, just the same, slightly different here. G, you can't F, C, we're never. So I'm just doing that. So with no loving in our souls, no money in our coats, you can say we're satisfied, but Angie, you can say we never tried. So they're done it slightly alternatively with the strumming on the that, which you could do. Next verse, same as before. Angie, you're beautiful, but ain't it time we said goodbye? Angie, I still love you. Remember all those nights we cried. Chorus seems for all the dreams we held so close seem to all go up in smoke. Let me whisper in your ear, Angie, where will it lead us from here? Now we'll have a solo on the piano, and it is really our introduction chords that we're going to be playing. A minor, E7 to G, F, so that's just one. And again. We then have our chorus, just going on the next sheet there. Oh Angie, don't you weep, all your kisses still taste sweet. I hate that sadness in your eyes, but Angie, ain't it time we said goodbye? an interlude. Then our chorus, with no loving in our souls and no money in our coats, you can say we're satisfied. Now we've got this section, which is D minor to A minor. But Angie, I still love you, baby. Everywhere I look, I see your eyes. There ain't a woman that comes close to you. Come on, baby, dry your eyes. So that last bit is just C. Come on, F, baby, dry your J eyes. So I'll do that again. But Angie, I love you, baby. Everywhere I look, I see your eyes. There ain't a woman that comes close to you. Come on, baby, dry your eyes. And at the end, we really got our introduction chords played through twice. But Angie, ain't it good we're two alive? Angie, they can't say we never tried. So as always, thank you for watching, and I hope that helps you be able to play Angie by the Rolling Stones.